Good morning, friends. I am David Hale. Welcome to Soul Shift Coaching and what is usually sunny San Diego. As you can see here, I have the beautiful Pacific Ocean behind me. And I do this often, pretty much daily, coming out to creation and spending some time unplugging, making sure that I am tying myself to the eternal, tying myself, reminding myself that I am part of that creation, that I am part of that beauty. And that's what I want to share with you all about today, dear friends. You must remember that we are a spirit having a human experience. We are a spirit having a human experience. Keeping that in our mind is that we must go through life each and every day, understanding that each transaction can be transformational. See, we often get stuck in that rut where we treat life like a contract. Maybe some of you all know general contractors. I know a few. And what do? They sign that contract and they go just up to that contract. They never go above and beyond. They call it scope creep. If they go above and beyond, they're losing time, they're losing money, and then word gets out that they can be taken advantage of. Contracts are good in the business world, and we need them. But that's not the way we live our life. We do not want to live our life as a series of transactions, as a one big contract with a series of things we have to do, boxes we have to check. No. Heaven forbid you're in a long-term relationship and you get to the point where you're in that relationship like a contract. You're just checking boxes, going through the motions. You're just roommate. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And we can treat ourselves that way as well. We can treat life with ourselves as just nothing but a contract, a series of transactions. What I've got to do. The secret, my friends, remembering that we are a spirit having a human experience, therefore we can tie our spirit to the eternal, and we can take every transaction and make it a transformational event. That's what we want to do. See, because we have a spirit, mind, body, and spirit, because we are part of creation, part of this thing that is beautiful, we can then take each transaction of the day and tie it to the eternal. And when you take each transaction and tie it to the eternal, guess what that is? Guess what that becomes? It becomes a covenant. We want to walk through life as a covenant. Everything that we do is encompassed by this reality of a covenant. Because the covenant, you always go above and beyond. If you have kids or parents or family members or just loved ones or friends, it doesn't matter. Do you treat them like a contract or do you treat them within a covenant where you will go above and beyond? Putting yourself out there. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. It's because what you're called to do. That's what we want to do with our day-to-day lives, my friends. Is we want to take every transaction and turn it into a transformational event because we are connecting that transaction to the eternal, to our spirit, knowing that we are creating our future self. That's what we want. And we have some people that are taking care of this cemetery. It's a beautiful cemetery. It's a national cemetery. So I'm going to start walking back this way because we got some people taking care of this beautiful grass, overlooking this beautiful Pacific Ocean as we honor our nation's fallen. I am a former Marine, and so I have a big sentimentality for lots of things. Be that as it may, so I'm going to start walking back this way. I want to come back to this thing, though. We want to rack and stack each transaction of the day within the confines of a covenant. Therefore, we can tag it to transformation. And when we rack and stack day after day, transaction after transaction, week after week, within the confines of a covenant, because we're tying it to the eternal, we end up with a transformed life because we are creating our future self. That's the easiest thing to tie to. Knowing that you are investing in yourself when you tie each transaction to the eternal. When you tie each transaction to the fact that you are investing in David tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and a decade from now. And all the people that we interact with as part of that, of who we are and our spheres of influence, right? We don't want to get lost in the humdrum, ho-hum, transactional day because then we just treat everything like a contract. There's no depth, there's no meaning, there's no hope, there's no joy. No, my friends, that's not what we're doing here. We are taking the transactions of the day, operating them within the confines of a covenant, which means we're taking the transactions, tying it to the eternal because we are investing in our future self and all of the people that we interact with. And so as you go through your life, as you go through the day-to-day transactions, make sure that you are reminding yourself that you're not doing this because you have to. You're doing it because you want to, because you know on the other side of discipline, there is a radical transformation. There is just beauty. There's just openness. There's opportunity. There is freedom. And that's what we're doing here at Soul Shift Coaching. We are taking the mundane, the germane, the tactical aspects of the day, the transactional things that we must do, reminding ourselves that we're not here as a contract. We're here as a covenant, part of this beauty of the creation, because we are mind, body, and spirit. Our spirit is the connection to the eternal. And what we decide to do each and every day is put each transaction into the confines of a covenant where you go above and beyond, and we take each transaction, therefore turning it into a transformational event, and we rack and stack transformational events day after day, week after week, month after month. And then next thing you know, you look around and you go, holy moly, I'm a changed person. I'm a transformed individual. And then we are honored and blessed to impact those around us. Don't get stuck in the contract of life. You know, it's with football season back now. It's funny with all those car commercials they got going on. They're selling you a covenant when all it is a contract. Hey, buy this car. You'll get the $1 million in the bank. You'll get the beautiful wife or husband and the house and the vacations and all that stuff and the bikini magazine cover body. Negative. They're selling you a contract, wrapping it up as a covenant. But we know the difference, and we are deciding to treat our lives like that as a covenant. All right, my friends, that's it for today. If you've liked this content, please subscribe to my channel where you can see several of the other videos I've posted. Please also leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And give me a thumbs up. That'd be great. You can also see in the description box below soulshift.org, which is my coaching site, where you can go there and see more about who I am, my approach, and my style. And you can also go to the book coaching link and set up a free consultation. I'd love to connect with you, see who you are, where you are, who you might want to become, and how you might want to get there, because I'd be honored to walk with you as you walk this path of transformation. Because remember, my dear friends, there is always a radical harvest of transformation on the other side of discipline. Thank you for being here.